Peace, family. This is the Satchel Rose coming at you guys with another exclusive video. We're going to be leading with passion, knowledge, logic, and wisdom. Of course, if you guys are looking to receive any of my spiritual services, whether it be spell work, whether it be divination, whether it be my coaching program, please, you can find me on Instagram at the Satchel Rose. Again, you can find me on Instagram at the Satchel Rose, as well as TikTok at the Satchel Rose. You can also hit my business email, and of course, my website will be in the description. Again, man, I'm looking forward to working with the collective. Definitely looking forward to working with you guys, man. It's gonna be an amazing journey this year, and man, we definitely about to get to this work. We definitely about to get to this work this year, man, for real. Especially with the topic that we're gonna be talking about today. You know. So, with this particular topic, right? And y'all gotta excuse me, man. I have to smoke this cigar. You know, one, because of the day that I pretty much just had, but as well as the fact that I do want to connect with spirit when it comes to this particular topic, right? So, when it comes to this path, right? A lot of us are spiritually initiated. You get what I'm saying? A lot of us are spiritually initiated, right? So it gets to a point to where we have to understand that these spirits come to us for the greater good and for a divine purpose, right? So I can't tell you how many times I've had clients who come to me, right? And we all, to a certain degree, have similar backgrounds, of course. But there are individuals who come from a certain background that is just a lot more strict and a lot more, there's a more strict doctrine, right? For lack of better terms. And I'm talking about from the Islam faith, Pentecostal, you know what I'm saying? Religious background, whatever the case may be. And they were raised to be a certain way. They were raised to be a certain way. Right? And what I've noticed is that calling is a lot higher than that religion. So I was raised to be Christian. I was raised to actually believe in Jesus Christ, right? And I'm in gratitude for that because it actually taught me how to study and it taught me how to keep faith. You get what I'm saying? It taught me how to study and it taught me how to keep faith. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I pretty much taught a lot of this to my siblings and a lot of this to my inner child, right? And it was through my mom where I would go in her room and see her studying scripture. I would see her journaling. That's where my spiritual journey began. Right? Meaning, it taught me to be disciplined in my faith. It taught me to be disciplined in my faith, right? But I always knew that I had a different path that I was meant to go on. I had a different path that I was meant to go down, right? And I'm grateful that I answered that calling. I'm in gratitude that I answered that calling. I'm truly in gratitude that I answered that calling. Because had I not I would not have made it this far. And this is nothing against any religion, but I wouldn't have made it. And I say all of this to say, because when it comes to this path, and when it comes to the discipline that you have to have, right? There's hours of reading. There's hours of meditation. Days of meditation. Like, I don't care if you meditate for 5 minutes a day, you have to be disciplined in that. If that's your routine, right? There's hours of lectures. If you got to let it play until you fall asleep, because I'm going to tell you something too. Even when you fall asleep, it's still getting into your subconscious mind. It's still getting into your subconscious mind. So there's a discipline when it comes to this path. Yes, we're free spirits, but there's a discipline when it comes to this path. And you learn that from religion. You learn that from your background in certain religions or belief systems. Learn that. However, when you have a calling that is of a higher purpose, whether it is to be a teacher, a student first, but a teacher, whether it is to be a healer of self and community, whether it is to be whatever the path is, you have a calling to that path. You have a calling to that path. Man, sorry about that, man. Y'all excuse the noise in the background, man. I got my windows open. But yeah, you may have come from that background. But when you have a calling that is of a higher purpose, when you have a higher calling, you have to answer that calling, because those are your ancestors. You may come from a certain background. You may come from a certain religion. Your parents may have raised you in that religion, right? Or that belief system, right? But your ancestors are calling you to go down a different path. These spirits are calling you to go down their path, because you have to heal the bloodline. You have to heal the bloodline, right? And they know that you are capable of doing so. They know that you're capable of doing so. They understand that you are the chosen one. You have the gifts to do so, whether you're clairvoyant, whether you're a healer. There are some of us who soak up information, that soak up knowledge in such a vast and efficient type of way. And we're able to tap into that Akashic records at the drop of a dime. That is a gift. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's a gift. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that ain't nothing to just sweep under the rug. And a lot of us do. Because we don't want to let our families down. And I was at that point myself. At one point, I was at that point. I was like, man, I don't want to let them know that this is what I'm doing. But it's like, you can't hide it if you want to. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't hide it. But I understand that I'm meant to be a leader. I understand that I'm meant to create, because you not only heal your bloodline, but you also create an entirely upgraded version of your bloodline. So answer that calling, because you're the catalyst. You're the vessel. Answer that calling. Answer that calling and see where it takes you. See how far you go. I'm a living example of that. I wouldn't have made it this far. I wouldn't have made it this far if I would not have answered that calling. I wouldn't have been on the path that I'm on now. I can't tell you any of my family members that are doing the work that I'm doing, from grandparents to great-grandparents. But I know that there are ancestors who called me to walk this path. There are spirits that called me to walk this path. So answer that calling, man. Answer that calling. This is definitely something that I wanted to get on here and talk about, man. Again, if you guys are looking to receive any of my spiritual services, whether it be spell work, whether it be divination, whether it be spiritual coaching, please feel free to work or reach out. You know, I'm honored and in complete gratitude to even be able to do the work that I'm able to do. And it's because of you guys, it's because of the supporters, it's because of the subscribers that I'm able to do the work that I'm doing. It's because of the individuals who come to me for divination. The individuals who come to me and ask me any of the questions that they have or that's challenging them when it comes to this path. And I'm here through the grace of Odua, Obatala, Orumula, Shango, Ashe. It's because of them that I'm able to do this work. So again, Instagram at TheSacheRose, TikTok, TheSacheRose. Website will be in the bio.